Someone's coming. Something hungry for blood. A shadow grows on the wall behind.
Okay, welcome back to Geek Is Mainstream. For those of you who are joining us, welcome, and we're very happy that you're listening. And for those who listened to our first episode last week, welcome back. It's been a great week, and we've got so much to talk about this week, eh?
Yeah, I froze. Just kidding. Welcome to Geek Is Mainstream. This is our second podcast.
It is. It's quite exciting, isn't it?
Quite exciting. As you heard, that was the theme song, right?
Yeah, that was the theme song from, oh my god.
Yes, Kuzi's been blowing me up about this show, Stranger Things.
Stranger fracking Things. I love this show so much, and I guess that's the first thing we're talking about.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, by the way, I'm Kuzi, and this is Mike.
Yeah.
And this is Geek Is Mainstream, the podcast where we talk about geek culture and pop culture and how they come together.
Welcome, guys, to our new listeners. Thank you for tuning in. To the second-time listeners, thank you, guys. Like, coming back a second time, like, means a lot to us.
Yeah. Awesome. So, Stranger Things.
Let's talk about Stranger Things. So, basically, I just watched the first episode.
I
literally just watched it, and Kuzi just watched it for the second
I don't do that, but Stranger Things, yes, I will.
And it looks well put together. Like, visually, aesthetically, it's pleasing. It's kind of terrifying. And a brief background into my view on these, in quote-unquote, thrillers, you know. I'm really not into the genre. I won't even play games. But this one is a bit different. It's quite intriguing. It kind of captures you, and I'm actually looking forward to watching more episodes. But Kuzi's gonna tell us more because he binge watched it.
Yeah, so, I finished it all. I'm not embarrassed to say I watched the first episode, and right at the end, I was telling Mike this, right at the end was the last minute of footage from the first episode. I knew I was gonna watch it all in the one day. So yeah, I finished Stranger Things, and it's amazing. Wow, what can I say? Okay, yes, Mike was saying about thrillers. A lot of people are calling this a horror.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a drama / horror, but I think of it more as a thriller. Maybe it's because I'm very much into that whole horror genre, and I've watched a million movies, and I go out and I look for them. So yeah, so I don't really count this as a horror because I think it's good and it's scary, but it really isn't a horror to me because a lot of the time if you watch horror movies, they're really focused on the threat, whatever it is, and how the characters react to that threat.
Yeah.
But I see this more as a thriller because as much as they have this threat in their lives go on. They keep on doing what they would normally do. They hang out with their friends. Life does go on, and this thriller, there's this thing that's threatening them in the back of their minds that reminds them that all is not well. But they still go out on dates, they still do parties, they pretty much hang out, and yeah. So I guess that's why I don't think of it as a horror, I guess. Yeah, and oh my god, the character development is so crazy. I wanted to show Michael this one scene. In the beginning, you see what's his name, Chief Hopper, the sheriff. And when you start off, he seems like such a slob. They show his house. Oh, fun fact about that house: the art department bought it for $1. His trailer cost them $1.
$1?
Yeah, $1 United States dollar, which is crazy.
Damn.
But anyway, so you see him in this in his lounge, and it's all messed up. He's got
he doesn't seem
place.
like a sheriff of any kind.
Yeah, he really doesn't, and we're all surprised when you see him wearing the uniform.
I was like, this is the sheriff.
And then later on, he says, "Mornings are for what? coffee and contemplation. That was crazy.
Warnings of a coffee and contemplation.
But I think the biggest turn for me for that character is when he goes to Will's house for the first time, like for the first time from our perspective, and he starts looking for clues. That's when I realized that, oh man, this guy is like way more than we thought he was when we first met him. And it's like really beautiful, because that's how it is in life, isn't it? You see a person, you prejudge them, you go like, oh, this person is this kind of person, because you see what you want to see from like the first encounter. But what you don't realize is there's so many layers and like so much more that you don't know about this person. And I think they really did a good job of character development with this show. I'm not going to go into it too much.
Side note, that was very deep. Like, I'm touched. Like, I'm moved. We can go on now.
So yeah, the character development with all of the characters in the show are so good. Even the annoying ones. We'll get to that in a couple of weeks once everyone has watched it. I will tell you who annoys me the most in this show, but they'll probably annoy you too as well. And like their motives are really obvious, but like you get to see them grow as characters, and you get to see another side that you're not expecting from them. Mike actually made a really poignant point, like when we were watching it, when he sees Will Byers like load a gun. And like that struck him, like this geeky little kid and all that. But like he sees a threat, he loads a gun. Now that's actually pretty smart.
You know, the thing is, usually when I'm watching these shows, I really, because I have a curious mind, I keep on coming up with like possibilities and how the plot is gonna go. It's just my natural curiosity. So it was quite cool to see this little kid start loading a gun, and I'm expecting him to be like scared because there's some threat out there, but then he's like acting like, yo, I can handle this, and it was pretty cool. Stranger Things.
And another thing that makes this like the perfect show to talk about on our podcast is because it really does like tackle the issue of geeks. Like the first thing they show, after like a couple of like the jump scares, is them playing Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a big Dungeons and Dragons fan. I've been playing for like 2-3 years now. I love it. I love it to bits. And like it really focuses on these like kids, these geeks, and like how they're
and I think before you go on, actually I think you should just briefly summarize what Dungeons and Dragons is.
Of course. Dungeons and Dragons is a role-playing tabletop game. Like basically what you do is you create characters, right? And you pretty much navigate in this world with these characters, and you roll your dice to figure out what happens to those characters if you cast a spell, or if you like get attacked, or you attack person, and so on and so on. And the beautiful thing about Dungeons and Dragons is it's really more in your mind than anywhere else. You like really build this beautiful like intricate world, like there's a lot of storytelling within the game, and you have a dungeon master who pretty much controls the world for you, and then everyone else plays a character, and they pretty much just like go through life with that character. It's like the most amazing thing I've ever played, actually.
And it's actually quite popular, because if you look into like the Big Bang Theory, that group of friends used to play it too. So,
they're also
so
like,
if you're wondering what that was, Dungeons and
Dragons. They've done like I think 2 community episodes with Dungeons and Dragons. The community with Childish, Gambino,
exactly, Donald Glover, who we shall be talking about a bit later. But
so it's quite popular amongst geeks, and it's becoming a bit mainstream, though not quite. It's still like a preserved geek culture. But what was I saying? Oh yes, and it really looks at how like there's been a great transition between geeks in the 80s, because this is set in 1983, and geeks now. It was so fringe. You see that little group of friends, and you realize how fringe it is, because like they go and they talk to the sheriff, and they're like, he was in Mirkwood, and he's like, Mirkwood? That sounds so like made up. And he's like, oh no, it's from the Lord of the Rings. It's like, no, actually it's from the Hobbit. Which if you watch the Hobbit, yes, it is from the Hobbit.
Exactly.
Mirkwood is mentioned in the Lord of the Rings, but it's mainly in the Hobbit. That's where you meet Legolas's dad, and like that whole group of elves and stuff.
And definitely, since it's set in the 80s, that just means that they read the books.
They read the books. There were no movies to talk of. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
So there's that. So any questions, any thoughts? Like on like how do you feel about the? Because I was really interested to find out how Mike felt.
I know. Like he was watching me as I was watching this, so like I felt like a test subject. So you know, I like the attention. I won't lie, but it's cool. You know, like the opening scene, like. You know, there's a lot of stereotypical like horror type scenes, right? Like where like there's this monster and stuff like that, but they not show it. They don't show the creature even once. They just show that there's something and it's scary.
Yeah.
And this thing is like out for blood and whatnot, and just the opening sequence of how it like transitions into the kid Mike talking about
Mike, the Demogorgon.
Mike. Talking about the Demogorgon and all that. It's quite interesting. Like I feel like it's got a nice trail of breadcrumbs, and you just want to see where this path goes.
Exactly.
Where it leads.
Yeah. It's very much a psychological thriller. I think for the first 5-6 episodes, it's really about you and how you feel about the characters and their safety.
Yeah.
Like any questions, like because you haven't watched the rest of the show, like any predictions you'd like to make? I obviously will know if you're right or wrong, but it's very interesting to see where you think it's going to lead and how surprised you're going to be. I think the more off your predictions are, the better the show is going to be for you. So.
Well, okay. As I said when we were watching the show, I talked about how the U.S. government always conveniently pitches, and like you know, it's a theme that's very like recurrent in a lot of
right
shows,
now,
like,
right?
where it's like a lot of the U.S. government has done some sort of experiment. It goes sideways. Then all of a sudden, everyone's in danger, and they're trying to contain the situation. And we have that little girl who's got these psychic powers.
11, I love 11.
Exactly. And the beautiful part about Netflix is that like all the episodes are out.
They're out now, so
like,
yeah,
you should just go watch it. And like I think they're gonna really try and contain it, the US government, as usually they do, but then it's gonna be very interesting because of the minds of the little kids, the ones who are playing Dungeons and Dragons, and now they've met their little girl. So I'm really curious about how their relationship is just gonna grow, the dynamic, and I just think it's gonna be awesome. And I just pray like none of my, because I'm already investing emotion into these characters, so I just pray like no one important dies.
No, that's just another Game of Thrones. They're all gonna die.
So
Fala Mogulas, all men
must die. So I'm curious to see where it takes us. I'm actually quite excited.
Wow, that's really cool. I like where you're going with this. You talked about like the government. I especially love that scene where they're listening on the calls and it's like so NSA.
Exactly, so NSA.
And they sort of like trying to tell you, people, they were doing this in the 80s. You think it's a Snowden thing that happened like last week, but it's been there for ages, and it's just so funny.
I think that just shows how Geek is mainstream. Like it's these recurrent themes that mirror life.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure if we were to like look into like WikiLeaks and that sort of thing and that whole avenue, like we'd find a lot of things that are happening in real life that are now coming out through these shows, through these movies. But hey, big props to Netflix. Their Netflix original shows are like
so good.
So good.
They're like awesome.
Like we were saying, they're pretty much on
HBO levels. Yeah, and we can say this without even being like, I don't know. We can say this flat out without worrying about that comment.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, we were talking about this Narcos.
Yeah.
There's now Stranger Things. What other shows were we talking
Remember
about?
last week we talked about Luke Cage.
Oh, Luke Cage. Yeah, all those other shows. Daredevil, Jessica Jones. Oh man, it's just been so crazy. Orange is the New Black. That's a Netflix show, isn't it? Orange is the New Black. Yes, that's another Netflix show. So like Netflix is really gathering momentum, and I just can't wait for the second. Yes, that's another good thing. There is the second season of Strange Things has already been confirmed. It's barely been out. But the internet's going crazy about it and everyone loves it. So that's pretty obvious.
Like you know when Kuzi mentioned Stranger Things, I was like, okay. The only time Kuzi ever talked about a show like the way he's talking about Stranger Things was when he talked about Game of Thrones. That's a big thing. So, I obviously, being the curious person I am, I went on social media and I looked at, are people talking about Stranger Things? Tyler, the creator, is talking about Stranger Things. A lot of people are like into this show. So, guys, I think this is something that you have to put on your to-watch list.
Oh yeah, definitely. You've got to watch this. Like, I don't know who you are and where you are, but like, you have to watch this. So, final thoughts. Look, this is
a review from someone who is not into thrillers and into horror, movies and stuff like that, you might look at me. I might be built like a linebacker, but trust me, like if you put anything like that in front of me, like I'd be scared. But Stranger Things is definitely something you should watch. I'm quite interested. I'm intrigued. I'm captivated. I'm excited.
It's good.
Yeah.
I think this show was made for me. I'm very much into, like Mike knows this. I'm very much into like 80s music.
Yeah.
I'm into classic rock, but it's not really rock. It's more like synth and stuff. But I'm very much into 80s music. A lot of retrospective stuff. It really like connects with some older movies. The poster looks like something out of a Star Wars poster. Like it looks like
it literally looks like a Star Wars
poster. There's so many references. You'll see that earlier on in the first episode that we watched. There's a reference to X-Men 134, the comic. There's so many pop culture references. So many like posters of other really good 80s movies and 70s movies that were really big. And yeah, so I'm really into the show and I'm so excited. And I think I would have been one of those kids if I was born in that time. And I think to a certain extent I would have been one of those kids when I was younger. I just didn't have that group to like grow with. I hadn't met Mike and all my other geek friends yet. So I was like a normal kid, but I was very much geeky, but I was just like on my own.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really interesting and I can't wait for the second season. Yeah.
So that pretty much covers Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So the Olympics are going on.
The Olympics been crazy, huh?
Yeah, they have been crazy. But I'm actually kind of peeled, man.
Why are you peeled?
I'm actually kind of peeled because I missed Olympic volleyball, women's volleyball. 'Cause I'm a fan of the sport. You might call me a volleyball connoisseur, but I missed that and I kind of got a bit mad. But besides that, all jokes aside, a lot of great historic moments going on.
I know. Oh wow, that reminds me. The Olympics, well, NBC's coverage of the Olympics and some other channels' coverage of the Olympics has been getting a lot of flack on the internet. Did you hear any of that?
No.
Like apparently, like it's been getting quite a bit of flack because of the coverage being sexist. Like apparently, like one of the Katie Ledecker or something like that, I'm not so sure, wins a gold medal, and you know what the first thing they say is Katie Ledecker, wife to whoever his name is, wins a gold medal, and he probably had a large role to play in this, and people are like, oh my god, she just won a gold medal, can you not just give it to her?
Give it to her, yeah.
You heard about Simone, right?
Yes,
Simone, the African American, the first African American. I'm pretty sure she's the first African anything to like win a gold medal like in like swimming. I'm not so sure what event it was. I think she won 2 or
gymnastics.
something. No. There's a gymnastics team, and then there's Simone who won like 2 gold medals in like 2 swimming events.
Really?
Yeah, and then they did a cover for her on I can't remember what it was. It was a newspaper, and like they have this big Michael Phelps image, and then like they sort of like put her in there as well. And then they talk about Phelps, and people are like, oh my god, they threw such a fit, and they're like, Michael Phelps has got how many gold? How many
23.
23 medals.
23.
Are they gold?
Literally, 23 gold medals. I forgot the exact numbers, but they said like he's got more gold medals than like
a lot of countries.
Like
the majority.
The majority of countries. Yeah.
The majority of countries on his own.
Yeah.
And like they're like, we've talked about Michael Phelps so much.
Yeah.
This woman just literally like made history. Yes, Michael Phelps makes history every time. I think like even the last Olympics, he had the highest number of golds. Can you not just give her a second and not focus on Phelps, who we talk about every other day? Like we've got so many memes, we've got so many stories. We all know Michael Phelps, but how many people know about Simone? So that was just funny.
And think about this, like I think we live in an age where like we really glorify our heroes.
Oh yeah, we do.
But Michael Phelps is Aquaman because when you're watching the Olympics and you're looking at this person who's done this like a couple of times, and you still always have that feeling of what is he gonna make it again? Like I always wonder about like the type of pressure that these Olympic athletes have like on their minds. Like
it's crazy.
It's kind of crazy. Think about it.
It is.
And
I think
you see all these images where like all these athletes who are like in their early teens when Michael Phelps was like at his peak, and then
snap,
now they're actually like there's the one guy I'm not sure where he's from, but he's Asian guy. And he's actually beat Michael Phelps, and just that transition, like we're seeing a lot of beautiful moments.
And he like you saw the picture where he's like meeting Michael Phelps and he's young, and Michael Phelps is already a gold medalist at that point in time. So just goes to show how long he's been doing it for.
How long he's been doing it for.
That's crazy. And we can't talk about the Olympics without talking about bowls. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
That picture is epic. That picture has just made the internet. Like it really did. It was just amazing.
The thing is, Usain Bolt is so sure of himself.
He is.
He's so sure of himself. Like I saw him just walking to the track. He's like he's embraced it. I'm sure he had that moment in time when it's like, okay, am I really that fast? He said, okay, I'm that fast. I have to keep going this fast. Then he's like, no, I'm the Don here. I am the Flash.
He is the Flash. He's a black Flash.
He is that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting.
Something interesting happened with him as well this week. I don't know if you watched this little clip. It's an interviewer is talking to Michael Phelps, not Michael Phelps, sorry, Usain Bolt. And during that time, they start playing the national anthem, the American national anthem, like during his interview, and he's like, "Can we stop for a second? Is this live?" And then she's like, "No, it's not." It's like, "Can we stop for a second and just like respect the national anthem?" And like this really endeared a lot of people to him because of the amount of respect like he gave to another country's national anthem. That's just good.
This is good. Yeah,
you can't take away anything from that.
And another comment I'd like to make is about how awesome it is that Zimbabwe is diversified, like the events that it's in.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Because they were in equestrian sports, they were doing archery.
Like we were in sculls as well, if I'm not mistaken. Rowing, that's crazy. And of course we had Kirsty doing swimming. Which was crazy. And women's football.
So it's growing. We're getting there. It's a beautiful thing to see, man.
It is.
But in the geek world,
we're having our own Olympics.
We're having our own Olympics. Defense of the Ancients. I think Kuzi.
Oh yes. I don't know if you heard about it, but there's this little game, this tiny little game called Defense of the Ancients, or like nowadays it's Dota 2.
Yeah.
And right now we're having the biggest event. Like the biggest esports event in the year, and it's called the International. So I guess maybe I should start off by explaining what Dota is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Please do.
Dota is a MOBA, a multiplayer online battle arena, and basically what it is you've got a small little map, and you've got two sides. And each side has 5 players, and the objective of the game is to capture as much territory as possible and then destroy the other team's base. So this game started off in Warcraft actually, in Warcraft 3. Frozen Throne, Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne is an expansion. It started off in Warcraft 3. So what happened is Blizzard, in its all-knowingness and its awesomeness, decided to build this game with a map creator, a map generator. So you could pretty much go and make your own maps, similar to the ones they made. And then this amazing person, I have not met him, I really wish I could, guy called Ice Frog, decided to make this little map, Dota, and that little map became bigger and bigger than the game it was made in, which is just crazy. Talk about the open internet and like just people making things that just go viral. That's one of those things. And then Steam later on decided to buy the rights to make that as a standalone game, and they've done that. So every year, pretty much Steam sends out invites to like the biggest teams all over the world, and it has them play against each other in this big tournament. And the prize, the winnings for this are the biggest winnings in any tournament that I've heard of. And I think at some point they did say they were the biggest winnings ever. And the winnings this year are $20 million.
Let that sink in.
$20 million for a game, a tournament, just one tournament, not multiple tournaments, not like a whole season. One tournament.
So to anybody out there thinking that, oh, it's just a video game and like that's just easy money, Kuzi, please tell them how much time and work goes into becoming a Dota Don. Because I played Dota for a while. I did play for a while, and I tell you this, it's no easy thing. You have to know your character. Like when you pick a character, like you have to know the right combination of spells and the right combination of potions that you're gonna use to take down the next hero.
Okay, let's just say I still think of myself as like, okay, I've got a ranking score, and my ranking score would pretty much push me just underneath, like just over maybe just underneath intermediate.
Yeah.
And I've played 1,200 hours the last time I checked, and that's just on Dota 2. I used to play Dota 1 as well, the first Dota, and I don't know how many hours of that I played, but I played quite a lot.
Yeah.
So that just gives you like 1,200 hours, and I'm nowhere close to the top. I'm like so far away from the top I can't even see it. So yeah, I also put in some research on how you would be able to go to the international if you are a normal person like you and me, and we decided, hey, we're good enough.
Let's go. Yeah.
Because like we said, the international is on invite, so that was a bit of a bummer.
Plus, it's $20 million.
Yeah, so you give it a try.
Exactly. Give it a try. Yeah.
So this year, Steam had this thing that they did. They have open tournaments. So all you have to do is go online, just search for that, and then register for the open tournament. And then like they'll schedule that, and then you'll have to play online against other people, obviously. Mm-hmm. And like if you qualify through that tournament, then you go to the international, and you have a chance of winning. Actually, the first prize is $12 million, and then like the rest of it is split amongst the other 20 teams, the other teams that are playing it, depending on their ranking and how far they go. And actually, a lot of teams get quite a bit of money, like in the hundreds of thousands and up.
Yeah.
So it's still a good tournament. Even if you don't win, it's still a good tournament to go to.
Yeah.
But the open tournaments are only held in the States and Asia. I think also in Europe. I'm not so sure about Europe, but I assume they should be in Europe as well. So poor Africa doesn't have anything right now, which is sad, because we also play Dota. I'm just saying.
So hey, this is us planting a seed in some genius's mind out there. Give us a Dota championship.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, make it open to us as well. We also want to play in the international, and we didn't have any representation. I didn't hear about any African teams in the international. Yeah. I could be wrong. SA's got like a pretty good showing, but I don't know. Though I haven't heard of any SA team or like any African team. So like, yeah, it's about time.
And you know what's interesting? Like, I know maybe a certain percentage of people who are going to be listening to this won't actually know that this actually exists.
Yeah.
But it's amazing that there's a whole world and a whole tournament like that exists.
That has a $20 million prize that you had never heard about. Yeah. So yeah. But esports is becoming really big to the point where ESPN is actually investing in showing. Like esports. I was laughing at this one joke. It's what's that thing? Honest trailers, and like that guy does honest trailers of games as well.
Yeah.
And the comment he makes is like Dota 2. He does an honest trailer for Dota 2.
Yeah.
He's like Dota 2. That game. Nerds have to watch on ESPN and wonder what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Pardon my French, but yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. And
but you know,
by the day.
You'd be surprised how many people in this country are actually into Dota 2. Because I remember a certain friend of ours. You remember Fletcher?
Oh yes, Fletcher. Oh yeah, Fletcher was into it like big time. Like maybe even a little bit more than I am.
Exactly, because you was actually like keeping score of the
and he plays it on his own. Like he was watching the international. He was watching it in the car. Like when they went out to go clubbing, which is just crazy.
Exactly.
Like, so there is that. So yeah, a lot of people are into it, surprisingly. I play a lot with my friends, very rarely on my own. Actually, that's a lie. I used to play quite a bit on my own.
On your own, yeah.
Yeah, great. So what are we talking about next? Oh yes.
Let's talk about drum roll. One of the most awesome people on this planet, Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino. So Childish Gambino, how I got introduced to this character.
Wait, let's give them a bit of a background on who Childish Gambino is and how they might know him, because I'm pretty sure most people know him. Yeah. They might not know him intimately because they don't know his name yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, so let's a
bit of an intro. Okay, Childish Gambino. Should we start from community?
Yeah, let's start from community.
No, actually, let's dial it back a bit and talk about 30 Rock.
Yes. I forgot about that. Yeah, 30 Rock. Go on.
Childish Gambino was, aka Donald Glover, was one of the writers.
Yeah, one of the writers
for 30 Rock, if you know the sitcom. And then he's also an actor in The Community.
Yeah, he's Troy. Love Troy. Troy's amazing.
Troy from The Community. And he's a rapper too.
Yeah.
Rapper and producer, Childish Gambino. So I think I came across one of his covers back in the day, and I was like, who's this Childish?
Which cover?
It was For All of the Lights.
Oh yes,
one
that
with
was
the
really
guitar.
good. Yeah, that was so good.
And I was like, who's Childish Gambino?
And then shortly after, that's when we heard Freaks and Geeks.
Freaks and Geeks.
Man, yeah.
And
which is another really good show from the 90s about geeks.
Exactly, Freaks and Geeks. And like I think he sort of embodies Geek Is mainstream, because
he really does. He is the epitome. He is like the quintessential geek who is also pop culture at the same time.
Pop culture at the same time, because I myself am a rapper and producer, for people who don't know, and I think like Gambino sort of like he like paved the way to be like, it's okay to be geeky and to be like to be a rapper, and, you know.
Funny thing about that, like when he talks about himself in high school, he's like, I was a theater geek, but here he is like writing hip hop, which is like
exactly. And make no mistake, Childish Gambino has got bars. Okay.
Yeah, he's really
make
good.
no mistake. But anyway, today I want to talk about his upcoming show.
Oh yeah.
And this is a big deal because like not many rappers are getting not any.
I don't know any
rappers.
There's 50 Cent. Though.
There's 50 Cent.
But he's 50 Cent. He's bigger now, so like he can get a show.
Exactly. So he's got his own show that's coming up. It's called ATL Atlanta.
And
it's gonna be airing on FX and pretty much.
Oh, it's on FX.
Yeah,
that's big.
It's quite big. And it follows the tale of these two cousins. Gambino and the other actor.
Oh, so he's also starring in the show.
Yeah, he's also starring in the show.
Okay, that's
exactly. Good. But then he really didn't want to be the musical relief in the film. So exactly. So you'd expect him to be like the main rapper, but then nah, it's like his cousin who's the rapper, and then it's just pretty much their rise to fame. You know, all their challenges, and it also tackles other issues in the black community that affect Atlanta. So he released six promo videos.
I haven't watched any of them.
You should really watch them. They're like really they're kind of weird, because like there's this one where everyone is moving backwards, but they're the only ones.
that reminds me. That reminds me of one of his music videos.
Yeah, he does.
The one with the diner.
Oh yes,
I can't remember that, but
Sober. I think it was for Sober.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he directs all of his own music videos.
Yeah,
that sort of makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be premiering on FX on Tuesday, September 6th.
Yeah. So, rather funny. I was thinking about Childish Gambino the other day.
Oh yeah.
For some of you who still don't know who Childish Gambino, featured in so many movies. He's done a cameo in Girls, like the series Girls. If you haven't watched that, if you have watched that, he's the black guy. You'll know.
You'll know.
He was also in The Martian. He was the geek in The
like,
Martian.
But to be honest, he saved the whole movie. Like literally, the whole plan was called. I forgot his character's name.
Yeah, but it was based on his character. Yeah. And he was also in this other movie, like this other horror movie. I won't ask you what that is because I know you haven't watched it.
I definitely have not watched it.
I've forgotten, but with this chick from House, man, I forgot her name as well. But if I think of it, I'll say yeah. But he's done quite a lot of like roles in like movies and stuff.
A whole bunch. And according to Gambino, his whole thesis for this whole show was to show how it feels to be a black person in America.
Is that what he said?
That's what he said. And he
so
said,
is he getting shot?
I don't know, but he said he's gonna bring new light to the whole. I think it's gonna counter sort of what Empire is doing. You know how Empire is the more like, yo, the rapper life.
Oh yeah.
But then he's gonna actually touch
more like closer to home.
It's closer to home.
Like,
and he said
not everyone is like wearing like 30 chains.
30 chains.
Yeah, okay.
And he was like he wants to touch on subjects that will make viewers sort of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I look forward to it, man.
Look forward to being uncomfortable.
I look forward to being uncomfortable. I think the world needs that right now, to be a little bit uncomfortable, to get them thinking. And plus the whole, the whole trailer. When you're watching the trailer, it feels so good. It feels so good.
Does
just
it?
To watch it,
I
yeah.
really need to catch up. Oh,
Even
man.
the music, it just feels right.
We've just reversed roles. I'm so behind.
I'm so behind.
Great.
And talking about music, we're still staying on that. We have another show.
Oh yes.
Getting right back to Netflix, and this one is called The Get Down.
The Get Down.
Yeah.
Really interesting show coming out.
Very
it's out now, right?
It's out now. Yeah.
Great.
It's actually the two most talked about shows
Right now,
are Stranger Things and The Get Down.
Which is funny because they both focus on younger actors and younger character roles, which
Exactly.
is funny.
And it's pretty much like based in the 80s and 70s.
Yeah, exactly. They're both retrospective type shows,
Yeah.
which is also quite interesting.
Yeah, so how I got to know about The Get Down was Nas kept on talking about it.
Are you serious?
Exactly, Nas. And I was like, this is interesting, and he's
Well, we'll talk about Nas and how he's involved in other things later on, because like that's also going to lead up to something else we're going to talk
something
about.
else, yeah. So Nas was talking about it, and he's somehow involved. I'm sure, definitely musically, he's involved.
Yeah, but he also plays like the role of producer. He's produced
quite a bit, and the executive producer of the show is Grandmaster Flash.
Oh,
One of the pioneers of hip hop.
oh wait, did we talk about Grandmaster Flash last week?
No,
we're talking about
Flicks. These
Flicks. Funkmaster Flicks, Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah.
They're all the same to me.
Yeah, so it's set in the 70s, and then it follows like these a group of teenagers, like these ragtags, teenagers who are trying to make hip hop a thing. Back then, like,
oh really?
Yeah,
they're trying to make hip hop.
Exactly, it's like the onset of hip hop. Like they were like these
okay.
kids when hip hop wasn't a thing at all, and they're just trying to make it work. And it just follows these. It's got Jaden Smith, it's got Shamik Moore, who you'd know from Dope.
Shamik Moore. Oh yes, of course, the main character.
The main character from Dope.
Is he also the main character in this show? I felt like it when I watched
he's not
the
the main character. The main
He
character
isn't.
is his name is.
Oh yes, this new kid.
Exactly. But he's also Smith. Justice Smith. Justice Smith.
It's called Justice Smith.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Jaden Smith is also in it.
Yes,
isn't he?
exactly.
Are they related?
No.
No, not at all.
Not
What
at
a
all.
coincidence.
Not at
Wow.
all.
Yeah. Maybe it's not. Maybe they were like, let's hire Jaden as well.
Exactly.
Two Smiths in it.
Two Smiths in it. So it's a very feel-good show. It looks nice. It's great. I haven't watched
It's another
it.
coming of age show, isn't it?
Exactly.
Like, it really like tackles with how characters are turning from being like a teenager / a child into a man / a grown up.
So it's definitely something you should put on your to watch list. In fact, we should dedicate a podcast to a to watch list. Like these are the shows.
I know, right? These are the shows you should watch. I
just
felt
be
like
watching.
dedicating a podcast to Stranger Things. Like I really did.
I
If we had
know.
watched the whole season, we really could have talked about the whole thing.
Exactly.
But it would have been difficult trying to skirt around spoilers and also doing that because we're very anti-spoilers.
And you know what's curious about this?
What?
Stranger Things only has 8 episodes.
Only has 8 episodes, but they're more than enough. Like,
They're more than enough.
47-minute episodes.
47 minutes.
Yeah. So. Oh man.
Yeah, so that pretty much covers the Get Down. You had something you wanted to say about Dope.
Oh yes, about Dope. If you don't know Dope, like you've got some work ahead of you. You need to go and find that movie. It started off as what's that thing? The pretty much like the Oscars for indie movies.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I forgot. But yeah, you know.
Okay, yeah. It won like one of those indie awards, and it was really critically acclaimed as an indie movie, and people thought it was going to get a lot of hype when it finally came out onto like mainstream theaters and everyone started watching it. We were super excited about it because we knew about it back then when it got a Sundance. That's what it is. When it was shown at Sundance, people loved it. Exactly. They loved it so much, and we were looking forward to it because it really speaks to us as people, I think. And eventually when it did come out, it wasn't as big. but it was brilliant. So
it's easily the best movie like of 2015.
I actually would say that. Like, it was, for me, the best movie of 2015, and people are like, what? You're crazy, right? I think, like, there were other really good movies in 2015.
Definitely.
But I think it speaks to us as geeks and us as people way more than any other movie that was. So if you really want to understand me and Mike, like, probably just watch Dope.
Just watch Dope.
And you sort of understand us. Basically, it follows, what's his name? That character? Shamik Moore. Like, it follows his character and his two friends. And they're also, they've got this punk. They've got this punk band. Indie. It's more indie than anything.
Wait. First of all, they're into hip hop.
They're into hip hop. They're like, very much into hip hop, which is funny because they're not a hip hop band, which is so crazy.
Yeah, they're into hip hop, but they make punk.
They make punk, which is crazy because I'm into indie punk. That's like my favorite genre. They're more indie than punk. Though. Like they're indie punk as well. They're into this. They're into hip hop, like they're not into like current hip hop. They're really into like 80s hip hop, like old school hip hop. And they just nerds.
The amount of like geek culture that's represented
in that movie is just
like, you know how we were talking about Donald Glover, right?
Yeah.
At the beginning of the movie, they
talk about Donald Glover.
And it's not like he's in the movie, but as a thing, as a concept,
as a geek concept. They're like we're geeks because we do this, that, and they mentioned Donald Glover in one of them. Like, we listened to Donald Glover, and then we just looked at each other because we watched it together. We waited for months for this movie, and we're like, we're gonna watch it together. We did a whole thing. We made hot dogs, popcorn. We sat down, and they mentioned Donald Glover in the first minute, and we just looked at each other like, this movie was made for us.
Exactly. And you know, it's very interesting where you watch a movie. Actually, you watch the trailer, and a movie lives up or actually exceeds the trailer. Because I remember. Do you remember how excited we were for Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Oh yeah, we were.
The trailer. We were so sold on the trailer, but then when you watched the movie, it was like,
it was good. It was good,
but it wasn't like.
It wasn't better than the trailer.
Exactly.
The hype was equal, I guess. We got what we expected. I guess.
Yeah.
And like, I think like Scott Pilgrim versus the World made up for like what we weren't expecting by it being a little bit more funny than we expected it to be. Yeah.
But then Dope.
Oh my god, it was so good. It really was dope.
It was dope.
And it follows these three characters, and like, I can't even talk about the story because the story arc is a bit confusing. But like, it's really about them and like
things happening. And look at it. It's got like so many famous faces. It's got ASAP Rocky's in it. Tiger's in it. Diddy's son Quincy's in it.
Yeah, Quincy.
Chanel Iman.
Whew. Yeah, she's
Zoe Kravitz.
It's got Zoe Kravitz as well. Yeah. Oh like, wow. Yeah.
It's just got so many.
It's got so many faces.
Yeah.
Like it plays on so many things that we love as geeks. It also even touches into like nerd culture.
Yeah.
It goes deep. They talk about the dark net and torrenting and like selling things on
you're
the
gonna
dark
use the
web.
Tor browser.
Yeah, like what? Like they really talk about like nerd culture, geek culture, and pop culture. It's really strong play into geek culture.
And then they also talk about gang violence.
Oh yeah,
Black Black Lives Matter. Like,
and they talk about an app. Like
they talk about
ways. It's just funny. Just watch that movie.
It ticks all the boxes.
Yeah, just go and watch it.
Just go and watch it.
Like, you probably haven't heard of this movie, but like, it deserves your eyeballs.
Exactly. And if you did watch it, you probably reacted the way we reacted just now.
Because
so that's a big virtual high five to you.
Yeah, wow. I think we spent a lot of time on that.
More
than we thought we would. This was an afterthought, wasn't it? Oh yes, and remember when I was saying Nas and how he's connected? Nas also was one of the producers on Dope.
Really?
Yeah.
And Pharrell.
And Pharrell. The music was also done.
Exactly. And it was narrated by Forrest Whitaker?
Yes, it was narrated by Forrest Whitaker.
How is this movie
not a thing? How is this movie not like a bigger thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about big movies
and big things.
Big things.
I know that. It's such a segue.
What could be bigger than
the Star Wars franchise?
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars is just huge.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I remember like when the last one, that was episode 7, right?
Episode 7.
Came out, then there was this whole movement where it was like, I'm part of the 1% that doesn't watch Star Wars.
Yeah.
People are so proud about it.
Yeah.
Everybody cares about Star Wars.
It's like you like cutting yourself and going like, I'm part of the 1% that feels pain and you're proud of it.
And you're proud of it.
Like, it's not cool. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it. But anyway, Star Wars. Like, I was a bit afraid about like Rogue One.
Yeah.
Because Disney bought Star Wars from LucasArts.
Yeah.
Like, it's still a Lucas film. You still see the Lucasfilm emblem, but it's no longer like owned by George Lucas.
Yeah.
Which is cool, I guess, because like a lot of people were complaining about the prequels, like 1, 2, and 3, and they were like, "Oh, George Lucas, like yeah, whatever." We really loved the direction they took with like Star Wars 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Finn.
and Finn, really love Finn.
Yeah.
But there's also this thing where like if a studio realizes that they can make money out of something, well, you know you're getting a trilogy.
Yes.
And maybe even like
Yes.
4 or 5 other
4 or
movies
5
out of
movies,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. So like I was a bit apprehensive. I still am a bit with what they will do with the Star Wars like IP, because they want to keep it and they're going to start making movies because they know Star Wars is going to do well in the box office. People are going to go and watch it. Who cares about the reviews?
Yeah.
It's going to be like big.
Yeah.
So they're doing a Han Solo movie, like younger Han Solo, and right now we just watched the trailer for Star Wars Rogue One.
Yeesh.
And
you know, to be honest, I'll I'd like to be like all rosy and positive about Rogue One, but I'm very skeptical. I'm very skeptical because, like, first of all, okay, I am a Star Wars fan. Like, I've read a lot of Star Wars books, even before.
Like earlier on in our friendship, like we used to like we went through this arc where we were just reading like Star Wars books.
Exactly. And Star Wars has a great potential to be put on screen, right?
Yeah, it does.
So my skepticism comes with like, is Rogue One the right story to be translated onto screen? I mean, I looked at the trailer and I'm sort of sold. I get the concept they're going for. They're going like, okay, this is from a normal person's point of view. This is like, we're not gonna put the Jedi.
Yeah.
This is
they're
just
going
like,
to feature, because you can't have a Star Wars movie.
of course, and that's pretty much what in pop culture, like what everyone knows about the lightsabers. Everyone knows that zwing.
Yeah, that sound.
Yeah, but I'm just skeptical about like if it's gonna be like, because I feel like definitely since it's gonna be released in December, just like the last one, like they're trying to keep that like get it into our minds.
They know they're not gonna do like episode 8 this year.
Yeah, exactly.
So they want to release something this Christmas.
Yeah.
Is it actually coming out this year though?
It's coming out this year.
Oh wow.
December. Yeah.
So they want to like make a lot of money this Christmas as well, and then next Christmas, and have 5 years of like profits. But okay, I was skeptical, to be honest. I actually ignored Rogue One for a good part. Like, people were talking about it, it's like, I don't care. Yeah, and I saw it and I was like, really? I don't care, and I just ignored it because I was really afraid that it was going to be bad.
Exactly, because the thing is, okay, let's be honest. When we saw episode 7's trailer, it was like, oh, guys,
it was gonna be good.
This is gonna be good. And then now you look at the Rogue One trailer and you're like,
but I like it though.
No, it's good. I mean, it's got
but it doesn't really tell you much, which is a good thing. Like with my old tangent of not wanting to watch trailers,
not wanting to watch trailers,
they spoil too much.
Yeah, but then okay, here's the thing. Like, okay, last week we talked about the whole portrayal of strong female leads. Right? And this movie,
this is another female lead.
Exactly, this is
that's crazy.
This is another. You see, so it's.
I didn't even notice it because I'm so like blind to it. I don't even like. I see a female lead. I'm like, oh, okay, great. I didn't think about it.
Yeah,
I didn't think about it. I'm just like so sold to it now.
Yeah, and we have the strong female lead, and it's awesome, and it looks good. It feels good, but then like I feel like they're really. I don't know. I feel like they're reaching, like they're giving us a filler, like a filler.
They really are giving us a filler, but it could be a good filler. And they're also playing on the fact that it'll have Darth Vader. Everybody loves Darth Vader. If you're a Star Wars fan, you love Darth Vader.
Exactly.
And like, a little Darth Vader won't hurt much, I guess, if they do it right.
And I'm really curious to see who they're gonna cast
as what?
As Darth Vader.
Ooh. But it doesn't really matter, does it? Because James Earl Jones was the voice for Darth Vader. I don't even know who was in the suit.
Yeah.
Like, some geeks out there will know who that is.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh yeah,
I really don't.
And talking about Star Wars, hey, I think we should actually have like a little moment of silence because R2-D2 passed away.
Oh yeah, I know. That was so sad. Oh man. Oh, I saw this comic that was funny and sweet and sad and silly at the same time.
That's a lot of emotions.
It's a lot of emotions. It's R2-D2. It's a comic strip. It's R2-D2 talking to C-3PO, and he says to C-3PO, "I feel so empty." Oh, that's so sad, right? That is like, because like he was literally in R2-D2 for like the earlier movies. I'm not so sure after like the prequels, but I know for the earlier movies he was actually in that little robot, which is crazy too.
Yeah.
And
so yeah, man, it's kind of sad, but you know, I saw this iconic photo and it's got Harrison Ford and like the original cast, and you know, I always wonder if they knew how big Star Wars was gonna be.
I think they had no idea. Like, you know, a movie could be big, but I don't think you know how like big it's going to get, like a cult following.
Yeah, so just a couple of facts about Star Wars Rogue One. Starring Felicity Jones, Diego Luna, and Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest is, I love his hair.
Yeah, the hair
is cool, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, an interesting fact about Star Wars though, like, and back to Childish Gambino, which makes him awesome again. They want to, they think of casting him as Lando.
Yes, I agree that. Yes, as a young Lando, which is also funny because in Stranger Things, they also mention Lando. Someone is called Lando multiple times.
So I'm sure you guys can see like
the culture come together.
They come together. So according to Lucasfilm, in a time of conflict, a group of unlikely heroes band together on a mission to steal plans to make the Death Star. And which is, everyone knows that this is like the Empire's like ultimate weapon. So you know it's set between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope.
Oh really? Yeah. Oh okay. So this is how they get the plans to the Death Star. So now we're seeing like the in between part.
Yeah.
I guess. So this is like what Star Wars episode 3.5.
3.5. Hey, didn't you like Lion King 3.5? Star Wars 3.5 shouldn't be too bad too.
Shouldn't be too
Both
bad.
Disney.
Fingers crossed. Oh yeah. Both Disney.
Both Disney.
Okay.
So there's a lot to look forward to. But now we're gonna make that little dip into pop culture that we do.
Yeah.
And last week we talked about how Hot 97's Ebro Darden talked about how Drake had it in for Eminem and how super insane that sounded. And this week on his Summer 16 tour in Detroit, Drake brought out Eminem. And he actually hailed him as one of the greatest MCs of all time. So it's quite interesting, man, like how the tables turn. So now the whole internet is like lashing out at Ebro, going like, dude, you just did this for ratings and you just wanted to hype people up.
But I think that's silly. That's a silly reaction from the internet.
I know, right?
I also saw like because I follow Eminem on Facebook, and like he posted a picture of him and Drake, and I don't know, he says something nice about Drake in that picture, or says something nice about the both of them and how they're boys or something like that. I didn't know about that, what you just said, which is funny, but it makes sense to me. I guess from what I feel happened is maybe like, you know, they talked. They were like, you know me, I'm just,
you know, exactly,
just building hype.
I'm building hype.
I just talk a lot and all that stuff. And Eminem's like, oh, cool, just do your thing, man. But like, let's not like this go too far because I will have to respond. And Drake, knowing what's good for him, like decided, let's squash this before it becomes big and all that. So I don't think Ebro is in the wrong. Ebro just pretty much gave us what he heard, what he knew about this. And he's a straight shooter. I don't think Ebro is the kind of person to just like, you know, make up stuff for the fun of it. He's big enough to not care. And that's my take. I don't know a lot about this, but that's what I feel. I don't know.
I think these days, man, a lot of things are blown out of proportion, but it also makes sense when you consider how big of an artist. I think this just shows how big of an artist Drake is. And relevance. I don't know if we talked about this before, but did we talk about Frank Ocean and like his cryptic?
No, we didn't. We talked about his people, but
Ocean was scheduled to release his next album, which is I don't know if this is the official title, but it's supposed to be called Boys Don't Cry. And pretty much what he did is that for a week he had this live stream, and it was just of him like building boxes and stuff like that, and he had everyone tuned in, like literally the whole world was watching paint dry. So someone goes like, I'd rather watch paint dry, a whole lot of people would rather watch paint dry, literally. So everyone was waiting for Frank Ocean to drop, and no album came out. And
the silence is deafening.
The silence is deafening, and it actually turns out that later on he was actually out there street racing against Tyler the Creator in LA.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there are just so many levels to this that is just intriguing. Like the whole cryptic live stream. And the funny thing is, like, Apple also played us, like, because like there was a little Apple Music logo in the corner, and still nothing came out, and he was out there racing against Tyler the Creator. But hey, man, to all those who are heartbroken, I'm sorry. You know,
I'm sorry.
We're sorry. Like,
it's just yeah, it's not happening.
It's not happening. But hey,
or maybe it is, but just not now.
Just not now. So yeah, I think we're getting to the end, but
I need to talk about one thing. I did mention this to you earlier, but it's something that happened recently. So this is something I know you've gone through. Like, everyone has gone through this at some point in time. Go on YouTube, you watch 2 or 3 videos. You're thinking, I've got nothing better to do, but you don't know what to watch. Yeah, we've done that a million times. I came across like the most amazing thing ever, especially if you're a movie file. I'm like such a big movie buff. I love everything about movies, the whole art of storytelling, the direction, like just the cinematics, like the art of like actually filming the film, and sound, the music. We talked about the music from Suicide Squad. Big fan of every element of a movie. And I came across like the Hollywood Reporters YouTube channel. It's amazing. THR. Oh my god, like one of the best channels I've seen in a long time. Like the craziest things. I watched, they have this thing that they call the Hollywood Reporter Roundtable, and in one of them they had Aziz Ansari.
He's from Parks and Recreation, right?
Yes, he's from Parks and Rec. They had what's his name? You know, the guy from Veep. The tall guy was also in Arrested Development.
Which guy?
The younger brother, like with the glasses.
Michael Cera?
No, not Michael Cera. Yes, Michael Cera is also in Arrested Development, but his uncle, like
the guy who does the voice for Lego Batman.
No, not him. The younger brother, the tall, slim one. I've forgotten his name, but he was also there. They're like 6, 7 comedians, all big. Peele from Key and Peele. They had so many comedians, and they just talking about life. They also had Don Cheadle. They had like a couple of other guys from SNL. It was just crazy. It's just like a table full of like comedians, and they're just talking about life in general, comedy, their favorite comedians, their inspirations. The craziest thing ever. Then they did another one for movie directors, where they did one with Quentin Tarantino, Ridley Scott. They did I don't know how to. One of the Toros. There's Guillermo del Toro, and then there's the other one. The guy who did The Revenant. Like so many big directors. They did like the director of Silver Linings Playbook, Joy, and he's done so many other movies that I just can't remember right now. And then they did another round table, and this time it had what are they? Oh my god, I've forgotten their names. But yeah, just like the biggest directors, Steve McQueen. Like, okay, name a director, and if it's not Peter Jackson, they're pretty much in these. The only people that I know that they didn't have that are like big are Peter Jackson and Guillermo del Toro, and the guy who always works with with Johnny Depp.
Oh, that guy.
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
But they did one with Tim Burton and Johnny Depp, and they were talking about how they work together, which is quite interesting. So like, if you can think of a director, he's probably there. And they did like, they've got a number of these. I haven't actually finished watching them.
So you guys should really go look.
Like the Hollywood Reporter. Who knew? Who knew?
And to be honest, I won't even lie. Like with a title like The Hollywood Reporter, I would like think it's phony. But then after that,
the guy from The Hollywood Reporter is terrible. I hate him. Like, he keeps on cutting them off. They're talking about so many like crazy, lovely things, and like he just cuts them off. I don't want to hear that. He's crazy, and and Angelina Jolie, because she directed Unbroken.
Really?
Yeah, it's a really good movie actually. About this World War II dude who won the Olympics. Olympics. He won the Olympics. Was a pilot in the World War or something like that. I know he was on a plane, and like, you know how they drop bombs in Hiroshima. He was part of that group apparently.
Yeah.
The planes got shot down. He got arrested. Was in a war camp, like with a couple of other friends, and like how he just went through that with the Japanese, and yeah, it's just crazy. But it's a good movie. And Angelina Jolie has got like some very interesting views. I like her a lot more after watching with these. So yeah, just do that.
And she's one of the first pioneers in the strong female.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, right?
Tomb Raider.
Yes, Tomb Raider. That's crazy, right?
Yeah. Okay, just to wrap things off, we're gonna dabble a little bit into gaming.
Oh yeah.
And in this day and age, we cannot really look down upon the impact of mobile gaming and how big that is. Candy Crush,
mobile
Angry
gaming
Birds.
is bigger than actual PC or console gaming because it's more accessible. It makes sense, I guess. So yeah.
And if you guys have watched House of Cards, you remember
yes, what's that game?
Monument Valley, right?
Monument Valley, love that game. One of my favorite games.
Right, Monument Valley was made by a little company called
this is oh really?
Exactly, Frog Mind Games, and it's from Finland.
The Finnish.
Exactly, and the Finnish. And the game we'll be talking about today is called Badlands.
Badlands.
So
was it Badland or Badlands?
No, Badland.
It's Badland.
Exactly, Badland. So pretty much this game, think about Flappy Bird gone dark. That's the best way I can put it. The gameplay is very similar to Flappy Bird, but instead of like avoiding just pipes, you're avoiding freaking like rotating blades, a lot of stuff like slow motion,
it's almost
nukes, like you're getting shot at.
If Saw made Flappy Bird.
Exactly, if Saw made Flappy Bird. And you know, this game, pretty much I saw my little brother playing it, right? And like, you know, you usually don't pay any mind to the games, but then like this one was very intriguing. Like the way it looks is amazing. Like it's really dark, but it's not too dark. It's dark.
It's just enough.
But it's just enough, exactly. Yeah. And it's kind of twisted though, because like it's pretty much like this little furry creature. According to the game, they call it Cloney. That's the name of the of the little furry creature, and like it's like a bird, and it's like flying across. It's flying. Then it's encountering all these weird, outlandish obstacles. Like, you know, these obstacles are like just so convincing. Like you end up feeling like sorry for this little character. Like this is like the worst. Like, is he going through hell or something like that? And the cool part about this game is like the sound effects and just the way it looks. So they say that the best way to play this game is in a dark room with your headphones on,
because apparently you said the music is good as well.
Exactly, the music, the
soundtrack
is so good. Plus the sound effects, like it's like it really draws you in, and like,
it's immersive.
Exactly, and it's not like one of those games where you have like a finite number of like lives. Like you can keep on playing, you keep on respawning.
So it's more about the experience rather than like achieving a certain target or something. Oh, that sounds interesting.
It's quite interesting, and it's actually won like a number of awards, like Apple's 2013 iPad Game of the Year.
Oh wow, it's that big. Oh,
yeah,
nice.
And it won the Grand Prix award in 9th International Mobile Gaming Awards, and it gets a Metacritic score of 85% based on 20 critic reviews. So it's like, it's really dope. Like, it's just a really cool game. Like, if you're on the go, if you're particularly not into console gaming or something like that, and if you're really into like PC gaming, it's available on all the app stores. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Huh, it's pretty interesting. I'm gonna get it. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Really saw the world. Nice.
So, guys, thank you for listening.
Oh, yeah. And this week, thank you so very much for listening to our pilot. If we hadn't gotten like enough responses, we wouldn't be doing this, because we're not doing this for ourselves. We have these conversations on our own.
Yeah.
We're doing it for you. Yeah. So, yeah, the response was overwhelming. We're very happy about that. If you're listening to this episode and you also listened to our last one, thank you very much. If this is your first one, we're happy with that.
We're happy with that.
Thank you so very much. And now it'll be so much easier to find us, because now we are on Stitcher Radio, so the app the Android/iOS app Stitcher. Just look for us as Geek Is Mainstream, and we're also on the iTunes. iTunes store, like under podcasts, just search for Geek Is Mainstream so you can subscribe. Please subscribe and rate us. Give us 5 stars. Come on. You wanna. Yeah.
YouTube, Facebook.
Yes, we're on YouTube as well under Geek Is Mainstream. We're on Facebook under Geek Is Mainstream. We're also on Twitter. We're also on Twitter as Geek Z Mainstream because that's too long a title apparently, which I was very disappointed by. But anyway, so it's Geek at GeekInstream. Geek is mainstream. Geek Z Mainstream on Twitter. And if you want to follow us, you can follow me at Kuzzy the Awesomest, KUZYTHEAWSEMOST.
You can follow me at 6 the Law. The 6 is in Roman numerals, VI the Law. Follow us, share it with your friends. You can also hit us up with like ideas, anything you want us to talk about.
Exactly. I was thinking exactly that. Talk to us on Twitter if you want to give us any ideas on what we should talk about. Segments as well. Like we were really thinking about the structure of the show, and we want you to be involved in how we structure the show. Criticism. Oh yeah, we take trolls as well. So like if you have any constructive or not so constructive criticism, we don't mind. As long as you're talking to us.
Yeah.
So like if there are things you think we should change, if you don't want me on the podcast at all, I'm okay with that. I'll still be on. But well, I'd like to know that. So yeah, just talk to us, criticism, any idea for
and if there's any like information which we talked about that is slightly incorrect, please correct us.
Thank you. We're genuine fans of the things we talk about, and the more info we have on them, the better for us. I think so. Yeah, it's always nice to have someone who knows more about what you're talking about tell you. And yeah, very soon I think we'll be starting to have guests.
Exactly.
And keep your ear close to the ground because we
hold up. We need a drum roll.
Because we might just be doing prizes very soon. So yeah, it's quite exciting. Like, yeah, we're gonna be doing prizes. Since it's small right now, you've got a 1 in something chance of winning it. That's better than any other channel you listen to because there are not that many people yet. So like 10, 20 episodes from now, that might not be the case. So like, keep on listening and you might just get lucky.
So, geek on.
Done. God.